I'm going to speak to you about excellence. And 40 years in a sport, trying to figure out what excellence is, in the pursuit of excellence, I have come to the conclusion that excellence is nothing but action, 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 and more action. There is a saying in sport that most sports people, their greatness comes from 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration, and how true that is. So I think action obviously is very, very important, but we need to qualify that action. We need to qualify it with three key ingredients. And the ingredients, these three key ingredients are consistency. So action with consistency, action with a lot of concentration, and I'll come to that a little later, and action with the constant understanding that this action is being helped by a universe which is arranging itself in very intricate patterns to see that you are able to actually fulfill an action. So it's really consistency, concentration, and a spirit of cooperative endeavor. I'll speak about the first quality. So again, excellence is nothing but action. It's nothing but work. It's nothing but constant activity. So the first quality that I'll talk to you about is consistency. And consistency really, basically what it means is hard work. Now, hard work is, we think hard work is an absolute term, but actually hard work is a very, very relative term, at least in the society that we live in. And I'll give you this small story of Prakash Padukone. Prakash Padukone is Deepika Padukone's father, and he was a badminton player. And in the year 1980, he won the All England Championship. So it's like a world championship in badminton that he won. Now, between 76 and 1980, for 4 or 5 years, he was unable to win. He was unable to win a world championship, and he was the best player in India. And he relates this story saying that I was the best player in India. He said, I used to work very, very hard. He said, I thought I worked so hard that there was nobody in the world who was working as hard as me. The gap between him and the best in India was huge. Nobody could touch him. But the minute he went to a world championship, he used to lose in the quarterfinals or the semifinals. And finally he figured out, he said, let me see, am I really working that hard that I think? So he went to Indonesia, where all the world's top players used to train. He went there just to see them train. And he said, when I came back, I realized, or rather when I went there, I realized that I was actually training only 30% of hard work I was doing when compared to the Indonesians. He said, I came back in 1976, I changed my whole routine, and I started working hard. And he said, hard means really hard. Waking up at 4 in the morning, going for a 10-kilometer jog, playing badminton for 4 hours, coming back, sleeping, waking up at 3:30, going to the gym, in the gym for 3 hours, again going and playing badminton till 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and then sleeping at 9:30 to wake up at 4 in the morning again. And he said that I did this for 4 years, without a break, without watching a film, without going to a party, without going for people who are dying, relatives dying and relatives being born and, new babies being born. He said, I just completely secluded myself and almost went into a cocoon where the only mantra was hard work. And sure enough, after 4 years of this hard work, he finally won the All England Championship. And this is the story, and this is the message that he gives to everybody. We were speaking to the Indian cricket team in 2005, just before they were supposed to go to Australia for a tour. And he told them only one thing. He said, you guys don't work hard. You just don't know the meaning of hard work. Please, you need to get physically fit, and then you will be winners. And I think at that time, BCCI had organized this whole conversation of Prakash Padukone with the cricket team, and they took it to heart. And if you realize, and if you look at the performance, and you look at the physical fitness of our Indian cricket team, after 2005, they are a far more fit team, and therefore they are winning much more. So this is what the message is: work hard. And there's a connection between working hard and there's a connection between concentration, and there's a connection between obsession. I'll come to that a little later. But we all feel, oh, I work very hard. But like I said, it is relative. work hard according to the benchmarks that have been set by people who perhaps are around you. I'm not even asking you to look at a Prakash Padukone. Look at your gardener, or look at somebody, look at your driver, or look at your boss, or look at the principal of your school. There are people who work hard. So look at them and then figure out, am I really working hard? And perhaps the answer will be that, yeah, I could work harder. So finally, excellence is a function of how much time and effort you put into whatever pursuit you're wanting to do. The second quality of this action is concentration. And concentration is, we all understand concentration. It's this focus, it is the ability to kind of zone in, and it's this ability to, to kind of put your mind to something without any distraction. But I'll give you a definition of concentration, which I came across a book called the Vedanta Treatise, written by Swami Parthasarathi, and it's a wonderful definition of concentration, and it goes like this: the intellect supervising the mind to remain in the present. So the intellect supervising the mind to remain in the present, and that's what concentration really is. Our ability to remain in the now, our ability to remain in the present. And see, our mind is the most powerful piece of our human anatomy. Not the heart, not our legs, not our, the muscles that we build in our arms or shoulders. It is the mind. And why is it powerful? Because as I sit here talking to you, talking to a camera right in front of me, my mind has the power to go in the past. What happened last night. I saw a wonderful play, and my mind can actually go into last night, 12 hours from today. Or it has the power to go in the future. And that is the distraction. And the ability to kind of, and the mind is such that constantly these distractions will come. Constantly the thoughts come. And we have to consistently and constantly keep supervising our mind. And that is concentration, supervision of the mind. And it's amazing that when you need concentration the most, the mind will kind of decide on its own, let me go into the past, or let me go into the future. And the minute that happens and you're unable to supervise, your thought is gone. Your thought is gone, your focus is gone, your concentration is gone, and your action may be damn hard, you may be working very hard, but without deep commitment and deep focus, that action will dilute, and the efficacy of that action will slowly dissipate. So to illustrate this point a little more, I must give you the story of James Watana. It's a long story, but I'll make it short. A 17-year-old kid, superb snooker player, comes from a broken family, mother and father separated. Mother is a manager of a small little snooker club in Bangkok, Thailand. And as an 8-year-old, he goes with his mother, who cleans the table, and he starts playing snooker in a snooker club. He's damn good. He becomes very good, and by the age of 17, he wins the World Amateur Snooker Championship. Because he's won the World Snooker Championship, he goes and gets an opportunity to play in the World Professional Circuit. In England, in Birmingham, at the NEC National Exhibition Centre, he plays his first very big professional snooker tournament at the age of 17. First prize, £200,000. The year is 1991, and I'm there with him. So this is a true story, and which I'm relating out to you. And he's playing brilliant snooker. He's continuing from his victory in the World Amateur Championship. He wins his first round in the World Professional. He wins his second round, third round, reaches the quarterfinals, reaches the semifinals, finally reaches the final. But the one consistent thing is, he's like a zombie. Incredible concentration and fantastic performance. And the entire world press is there. It's a world event. And the entire press and media are there, and they just start talking about this new kid from Thailand who's just brilliant. And they kept talking about the fact that he was just like he looks like a Thai monk. And he was so brilliant, and he was playing so well. And in the final, he's playing a guy called Jimmy White, who was at that time one of the great snooker players of the world. He's leading 7-3 in a best of 15 frame final. He's leading 7-3, requiring one more frame, playing brilliantly. And suddenly something happens, The score becomes 7-4, 7-5, 7-6, 7-all. His game keeps deteriorating, and it's 7-all, and he loses the match 8-7. As soon as the match is over, the press officer takes him, literally holds his hand and takes him to the press room. He sits down in front of the world press, and the press just asks him, Watana, what happened? Because he was playing so well. And this is his answer. The answer of a 17-year-old uneducated kid, the most honest and truthful answer that you will ever get in sport, in world sport. And his answer is this. He said, when I was 7-3 up, my mind, it traveled, he named a street in Bangkok. He said, my mind, it traveled, his English was poor, it traveled to this street in Bangkok, and in the street, my mind, it traveled to a house. Beautiful house. I want to buy that house with the 200,000 pounds, which I thought I will win if I win the title. The first prize was 200,000 pounds. He was actually in the match arena, in the National NEC match arena, cameras all over him. He's playing brilliant snooker, and for one moment his mind goes to a street in Bangkok. That's the power of the mind. 6,000 miles his mind travels. Not only does it travel to a country, it travels into a street and it travels into a house, and the image of the house is imprinted in his mind. So that was his truthful answer, that I just got distracted. Now on the way back, we were staying together in Bradford, and on the way back from Birmingham, in the car, I asked him, I kept quiet. I said, I'll speak to him tomorrow morning. And the next morning I asked him, Watana, you said your mind, it went there to Bangkok. You couldn't get your mind back? Logical question. If your mind has gone off, get it back. He said, I wanted to indulge in that thought only for 1 second. He said, only 1 second. It was such a wonderful thought. There's no chance that my opponent could ever catch up to me, and I was playing so well. He said, I thought I'll indulge for 1 second. He said, but I didn't figure out that I couldn't get my mind back. It was such a beautiful, indulgent thought that try as I might, my mind just got stuck into that house. And he's saying, that's when I figured out that my mind, it has a mind of its own. What a wonderful statement. My mind, it has a mind of its own. So our minds need supervision, constant supervision. And this link between supervising the mind and the link between hard work and the link between cocooning yourself so that you just work and work and work and don't allow your mind, of course allow your mind to go. Have a party, but then enjoy the party, then don't think about the work. That's the meaning of concentration, that when you are doing something, do it with full intent, do it with full commitment. And the link between concentration and hard work is a very strong link. So get yourself into this snowball effect of hard work, where you will increase your concentration level, and because you work hard and with increased focus, you will gain expertise in the field that you are in. And as the expertise increases, as your knowledge increases, you will find that your interest will increase. And as that interest increases, it will further feed into your concentration and the ability to work harder. And I call this the snowball effect. So you have to get into this snowball effect. You will need to stop going for parties, or you will need to stop going for films, perhaps, and that is at that level of intensity that you reach, where you're reaching really ultimate levels of hard work and knowledge and expertise. But you have to try to get into that. I'm not suggesting that from tomorrow stop being a social animal. We all are social human beings. But give yourself the chance to get into that mode. And you will find that there is a sweet taste to being in that mode, because you are constantly improving and you're constantly gaining expertise in whichever field you are in. Education is a wonderful, wonderful field, and you will find that you will soon start realizing, if you really become good as an educator, if you really gain knowledge, and if you really gain the expertise to deliver that knowledge to students, and when you see the spark in a student's eyes, you will find that it's a very, very fulfilling emotion, and it's a very fulfilling feeling. So get into that snowball effect of hard work and concentration. The last piece of action. So you need consistency and hard work. You need concentration, but along with this, you need this sense, the sense of understanding that I am because, not only because of me myself, but I am because of a whole support system out there. It starts with your family, it starts with your children, your husband, your mother, your father, but then it keeps, that whole universe keeps expanding, and finally it's the entire universe which exists, and it's in intricate patterns, and because of that whole universe, you are simply, your ability to talk to somebody is there because there is a wonderful pattern which exists in the universe which is allowing you to function. So it's just that recognition. You don't think about it all day long, but once in a year, I think we need to just put our minds to this understanding that there is more to me than just me. There is more to my expertise than just my hard work and just the concentration. We need to be grateful for fantastic patterns being formed for us to be able to fulfill the talents that we have. The last bit that I want to say is, in fact, the last two bits. One is, there will come a time, we keep talking about passion, that we need to be passionate. You must have interest in what you do to be able to achieve excellence in it, and that is passion. So it's a great place to start. Many of us, we do things just because it needs to be done. Perhaps it's a job, but if you have interest and passion in something, it's a great place to start, and you will find it will be easy for you to get into the snowball effect of hard work and concentration. But somewhere down the line, when the snowball coming down a huge mountain, it becomes bigger and bigger, you will find that it becomes almost addictive, the hard work and the concentration, and you will find that passion will convert to obsession. And that obsession is the period when for a 4-year period where Prakash Padukone did not go to anybody's birthday, where he did not watch a single film, where he cocooned himself. So you want to reach that phase of obsession where passion converts to obsession, and that is then you get lost. Then you get lost in almost in a situation where you will start living for that obsession. You will start living and breathing because there is meaning, and you need to figure out what that meaning is, because your expertise and your knowledge will start affecting other people. You will start making a difference, and that's a great place to be in. But the great place to start with is interest and passion. Lastly, I just want to say I have spent 40 years in trying to understand behavior of 3 balls on a billiard table, and I have pursued excellence in sport. You guys are all educators, and I'll tell you something, that in my list of human professions, if I have a hierarchy or a list in descending order of the contribution of these professions to our societies, and not only our societies in our city and in our state and our country, but in the entire world, you guys, your profession is the noblest of them all. Not the medical profession, but your profession, because you are shaping human beings. You are shaping wonderful young minds, and you are the superheroes. You guys are the ones who for me, I always salute. I think sport is way below. I know we watch cricket and we watch football and we get enamored, but as a profession, it's got no meaning. It's got no meaning when it's compared to a profession like yours, of educating children, changing their future, changing their minds, uplifting their minds, and making them great human beings, so that their city can become great and their state can become great. and therefore their country can become great, and finally this whole world can become great. So hats off to you, and all the very best. I end with the plea: start with interest, get into passion, and then convert that passion into obsession, and you will have fun.